Hey everybody, it's Pete. Welcome. It is Wednesday, August 5th, 2020. Welcome to a new episode of today's Best Stock Picks. I want to start out first by saying happy birthday to my mom who's up in New York. Happy birthday, Mom. Interesting after hours again yesterday, but if we go back to yesterday's trading during regular trading hours, just an amazing day. I mean, whatever stock that we had in the game plan yesterday seemed to come to fruition. Anything that didn't was kind of just meandering, and we just left it alone. There was too much that was actually moving yesterday. Congratulations to everybody who has both emailed me and everybody in the boot camp who just cleaned up yesterday on the stock run, RUN. We called it out last week. We had a really clean entry, about as good of an entry as you possibly could. It paused for 2 days after we called the trade out. All the time in the world to put the trade on and actually hit our target yesterday, which just goes to show if you have your preparation, it's not always going to trigger at exactly when you want it to trigger. So you have to keep, what we call our tracking list or a watch list, and you have to set alerts. You have to be aware of when those stocks reach the level that matters to you, which it could be higher, it could be lower, which we had a good conversation yesterday. Dennis from in the room, we were talking about trading pen, and maybe I'll do a quick analysis on that in a second. But we're actually going to start out with some of the stocks that had explosions to the upside and implosions to the downside that are going to set up some opportunity from a day trading perspective. And certainly some of these other stocks that had earnings last week, specifically the big tech stocks. I get a lot of questions about why I don't review them, and I do, but we kind of save those opportunities for inside the boot camp. We could take a look at them today, but we're going to actually start out with Beyond Meat today. By the way, if you find these videos helpful, absolutely click down and subscribe. You'll get updates, you'll get education, you'll get my stock picks, and you'll have my gratitude. I really appreciate it. If you want to trade together for the next 30 days, click down and learn about the boot camp. I'd love to see you in the community as well. So let's actually head over to the charts. One thing I do want to point out, I don't know why I keep doing that, is the SPY keeps going higher and higher, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? That would be what bullish traders want to see. But it keeps going higher and higher on lighter volume. This SPY ETF keeps going like this, and the volume keeps going down like this. Brian, actually, one of the new members of the community, brought it up yesterday. And it's not normal. That's not what you want to see. We discussed in the day trading video today, here's what I want to see, here's what I don't want to see. What do I want to see, what don't I want to see? And then you have preparation for that. You think with multiple bullish gaps to the upside and some good earnings in these larger cap companies that were good, you should see a surge in volume in the market, and we're not. And that's a little troubling. Now, you still need to trade what is happening, not what you think is going to happen, because we could be completely right, but our timing be off. So don't forget that the market's it is doing what it's doing. So you have to have your opinion versus order flow. And right now, order flow is still up until we see a reason not to. But you have to have in your mind right now, I'm not going to be getting long in a big way up here because it's not doing what we want it to do. So just keep that in mind, and we'll monitor that as a community over the next couple of weeks, okay? So we're actually going to head over to the charts, and the first stock we're going to start out with is BYND. I have mentioned this stock quite a bit recently. I actually do not like day trading the stock. I don't even like swing trading the stock. I think the stock is very hard because it's not consistent enough. The only time the stock really moves is when there's news, and quite honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you look around the last several months, even going back, we even look into this year, it's got too many melted candles. The stock just doesn't have enough of this or enough of this where it actually moves and is tradable. So it's really not worth your attention if you're an active trader. And ironically, today, after 2 days of rallying, we actually called it out in the room yesterday that said if the stock opens higher tomorrow, meaning today, it was going to be a sell short for us, but it's getting clobbered this morning. It's actually down 8.61% today, right now, pre-market. And down over $12. Look, the bottom line is this company is fighting generic brands. That's really what it comes down to, and there's not enough demand for what they do. Yes, there's 100% demand for it, but once you start getting competitors coming in and you don't have the foothold in the market, there's Beyond, Impossible Burger, and all the generic brands, they're going to have problems. So I think as a day trade today, the stock could make sense. I would not be looking to short sell it at all. I don't even like the stock to trade, but it's in play today. Disney actually popped after earnings yesterday as well. It's actually up 6%, which is a really big move for this stock. Now, again, if you're a regular subscriber to the channel, we've been stuck in this $120 trading range. We said that had limited potential up to $125. but we're going to open up near 125. So Disney above 125 and looking for follow through is super interesting today. Then we have NKLA, which has started bouncing yesterday. We had a lot of people asking about it. Should I start to swing trade it? My answer was no. You've had 6 weeks of selling in the stock. Why would you hold the stock overnight that had 1 day to the upside and 6 weeks of selling weighing down on top of it? That is not a good stock to hold overnight as a swing trade long. And you can see you're getting slapped for that today. The stock's down over 12%, almost 13%. So really it comes down to, I'm trying to help with some ideas. You need to learn what not to do just as much as you need to learn what to do. And those two stocks are not great opportunities because they're inconsistent and they don't have clean bullish order flow to be trading them aggressively. On the other side, we have NVAX, which is the complete opposite story, where the order flow is clean, the levels are clean. We're seeing consistent buying from day to day and week to week. And we're getting an upside surprise in this stock now where it's up 17%. It's trading at around 185. If you are in the right ideas, because you did the homework, because you're looking at stocks from the right side, you're not going to get ran over by what's already in front of you. It's when you start to project what you need to see or what you want to see versus paying attention, kind of like what I said before about the SPY. I don't like the fact that the SPY keeps going up on higher volume, but I'm trading long because it's going up. There's a difference between what I want, what I like, and what's actually happening. So NVAX is a good example of a nice surprise to the upside, which is generally what happens. These big surprises happen in the direction of where it's already trading, and Beyond Meat was not necessarily trading higher. NKLA was certainly not trading higher. And then we're going to go to Square, which is another good opportunity that we're looking for follow through today. It's up almost 10%. And you can see this is a stock that we've been in and calling out on a daily basis. And we're trading this super actively in our community as well. So look, the bottom line is trading is not hard, but you do have to do some work. And if you're willing to put in the work, if you have a burning desire to unlearn what's not working and learn what does work in a structured way, go back, watch all the videos. We've been watching these stocks on a day in and day out basis. And today some traders are being rewarded with probably more money than they'll make this entire month just having this one trade as a swing trade and carrying through. Same thing with NVAX. Full disclosure though, I'm not carrying any of the COVID stocks overnight, so I'm not participating in that monster move. I don't want to imply that I am, but congratulations to everybody in the community who did. So speaking of some stocks that we've just been absolutely crushing the last 2 weeks is AMD. Yesterday set up again as just a ridiculously easy trade, ridiculously easy setup on the daily chart, leading to what we looked at yesterday and how we benefited from it. Again, this is the reason to be in the community. This is the reason to watch these videos. This is the reason to subscribe. This is the reason to be, make the investment in yourself and get into boot camp. 1 day can pay for the entire month. 1 day. And we've already talked about multiple positions that we've been watching day after day after day. If you're not making money in them, there's something missing. There's something that you need to learn. And we're looking for follow through here again. ENPH is a stock that's been in our watch list for a while. We actually traded it very aggressively back here, and then the story changed, so we just let it go. We're starting to wake up a little bit, and volume is now starting to perk up, and we actually had it in the list yesterday. Now it's trading up into resistance, pulled back a little bit, but I still like the long, quite honestly. It's staying above the levels where it broke out from, so we're going to end up opening up right around yesterday's low. I'm looking for yesterday's low to hold the support to initiate a new swing trade to the long side. Run, of course, is another one that we've been we've just been having our community, people in the boot camp, we've just been doing a really super good job of creating game plans. Our game plan meeting starts every day at 8:45, and we're in the right stocks. I'm just so proud of everybody and how we're not fighting the order flow. We're not fighting the tape. We're just looking for ideas that make sense. And then it's just a question of learning how to manage the winning trades. And this stock actually hit our target in 2 days, and now it's scaled out some of it yesterday afternoon and looking to see how much more we can get on the room to the upside. So most of the traders that I spoke to yesterday in the community that private messaged me and asked me how to manage it, I said, look, we got $7 in 2 days. I said, scale out of some of it and look for the next move. You can always let that piece go. And if it triggers again, put the shares back on, but ring the register. And there's nothing wrong with that. Trading for cash flow, right? What's better than trading for cash flow? All right, so LVGO, this is a stock that actually is exploding again, and something that I mentioned yesterday in a couple of stocks, W being one of them. We'll take a look at that in a second, where it's now gone higher 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row, and it's going to open higher again today. This is not a stock I'd be looking to swing trade long. It's at this moment, but I would be looking to day trade it long again. So again, Bill, this is actually heading out to you. You have some questions about day trading versus swing trading. Because of how far and how fast it's moved out of this consolidation, I love the stock long. I will day trade the stock long today, but I'm not going to initiate a swing trade here, especially here. It's opening up 267 higher. The odds of following through on a new swing trade are small. So I have to ask myself, where do I think the stock is going to be in 3 to 5 days? And I don't think it's going to be higher. So I'd rather look for a better entry point with a risk and the profit potential makes more sense. So definitely a day trade. If I was long from this breakout down here, I'd be looking to exit some of that on today's higher opening. TDOC as well, nice clean breakout. Again, inside candlestick breakout. This is what you want to see, everybody. You want to see a breakout, a pause above that breakout, and then take off again. It got clobbered this morning after hours. We're talking about the setup, not necessarily what it's doing right now. So this is a good trade. This is where a lot of traders are going to have a problem with. First of all, you need to know when earnings are coming out and whether or not you want to trade through earnings. I have made it clear I don't like this earnings season. I think too many companies are not reporting guidance that's good going forward for the back half of the year. I am not carrying, and I just said that about the COVID stocks, I'm not carrying a lot of overnights right now because I don't like the earnings. Now, this is where you need to make a decision. And I get a lot of questions about this from people in the community. Should I hold through earnings? Well, my answer has been the same for at least a month now. I'm not doing it. You can do whatever you want. I'm not right now because the trade after earnings has been a little bit easier to make. The dust settles, everybody gets jockeys for position, and then they put the trade on. So you had a clean breakout here, a good pause, and a good move after the breakout, but then you had earnings. So earnings can work both ways. Right now, most earnings have not been through the roof. And just think about it, especially if it's some of these outdoor stocks. So there's a little bit of a risk right now in earnings that has not been there for a while because we're dealing with a pandemic that's affecting a lot of companies in different ways. So if you're really good at trading earnings and you're okay with the risk, obviously that's fine. That's your trading plan. For me, I'm not doing it. And if you carry this overnight into earnings, you're not happy this morning. So really, that was a lesson more in you got to make a decision. Are you okay with the overnight risk? So AU right now is setting up very similar to, and we saw a lot of the gold stocks yesterday were strong. AU, Newmont, gold, GOLD. But this one actually is interesting because it's actually pulled back. We got a really solid bullish engulfing candle yesterday with a profit target up around 38, and we're going to open a little bit higher this morning. So whether it's a day trade up to that level where you're initiating a swing trade or a swing trade, just a flat out trade, I like AU this morning as well. FSLY, another one that fits the criteria where we've been trading it very aggressively, and you can see why. And again, this is where understanding order flow and this is where understanding tape reading makes trading easier. You're in the right stocks and you're not searching for something, and you don't put a trade on and always feel like it's moving against you. This fits the criteria, again, where I'd be looking to day trade the stock, but because of how far and how fast and how recently it's moved, I would not be initiating a new swing trade in the stock, but I would be day trading it. Same thing with SE. Same thing with SQ. SQ, actually, I didn't mention before, or maybe I did, but exploded this morning. It's up almost 10%, so I'll be managing that one as well. Costco, I don't know who was in charge of Costco yesterday in our room, but for some reason I missed this yesterday. Probably because the stock went sideways for about 3 weeks. It just wasn't in my radar, and I didn't have any level set. I should have had a level set for 329. I didn't. Going to be watching this stock on the long side as well again today. PG continues to trade at all-time highs. Really good clean move yesterday as well. Still looking to trade that long. And Xilinx, actually, now 3 days of consolidation. Check for earnings, but I like the stock long here again today as well. And I just want to finish up with pointing out what I was mentioning before in the market, and specifically the SPY. If we go over here and pull up the volume, you can see we actually are gapping, bullish gapping higher, and we are decreasing as we move higher, and that's not what we want to see. SPY normally does around 95 million shares a day. Yesterday was not even 42 again. So that's not what you want to see, but you have to pull our opinion out of what's classic technical analysis and what should happen. And we could be 100% right, but let's let the market turn around first. Until that happens, long is the right side to be on right now. So let's see how the day unfolds. If you like the channel, definitely subscribe. If you make some money off the picks, let me know. I'd love to hear about your success stories. If you love what we're doing and you really want to take it to the next level and you want to trade together for the next 30 days, click down and join the boot camp. It'll be the best 30-day investment you've ever made. Have a great day, everybody.